All that sort of thing just goes out the window.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's at the minute you're more concentrating on your day-to-day living rather than planning, holidays in the future or even so much as days out. Really, it's all that sort of stuff's on the back burner at the minute. It's more a case of, have we got enough to put food in the cupboard this week? Well, that's the main priority.
And just as the house builders affect you, I suppose you not spending on holidays or socialising is affecting other businesses.
Basically, the only people whose jobs are safe are the likes of undertakers and teachers, because everybody needs to be buried and everybody needs to be taught. But other than that, no matter what industry, it's going to be hard hit.
Fear drives recession. People say, why would we continue to own this many of anything when we're worried about being able to make the payroll next week? Why should we employ so many people? Why should we be spending money on advertising? Why should we build a new plant?
Last week, the Bank of England revised its forecasts, saying the economy is likely to contract further next year. But according to the government, there are still 600,000 vacancies waiting to be filled. So how are the two desperate-for-work job seekers that we've been following doing? Business Studies graduate Paul Ireland has been out of work for over a year. With a good grade in his degree, Paul believes that his qualifications should put him on the first rung of the management ladder.
Well, I think a reasonable starting point for graduates is in a management role, just purely to reflect the skills that they've learned. That's the nature of getting a degree. You don't just get a degree because, you want some extra information or you have a few years to spare. You get it because you want to utilise the skills you're about to learn.
To help Paul identify where he's going wrong, we've enlisted the help of Denise Taylor. She's an award-winning careers coach. According to Denise, Paul's CV isn't helping him to achieve his ambitions.
If we look here at what we've got in this initial statement that people will put on a CV, we've got a driven and focused individual who's intellectually curious and thrives in creative, pressure-driven environments while willingly accepting responsibility. I mean, what is it? It's just a load of words. But looking at the list, applying for jobs as marketing manager, regional manager, business development manager, fundraising manager, I think he's setting himself up for disappointment. Often people have got their degree and they feel that they deserve the managerial role. But there's very few people that get taken on as management trainees, and they really are the best people. And for many of us, we have to start basically at the bottom. First thing I saw when I looked at this, I thought you came across a bit of an arrogant young graduate. And obviously you're not, but it's...
That's totally not what I wanted to come across at all. I just wanted to come across that I'm passionate about what I do.
I think we just need you to be realistic about your expectations. There's so many graduates out there that the chances of you getting on a graduate scheme are quite low. So we need to look and think about other ways for you to get in that will be a step on your way, and then maybe you go through 2 steps and then you do reach a graduate scheme.
Single mother Shireen Gears was made redundant 2 months ago. Having held a well-paid management position, she's desperate for work.
I just don't know what avenue to explore anymore. I know I'm not looking my best anymore. I've got bags under my eyes. I'm tired all the time. Snapping at my children. I'm irrational. I'm not sleeping at night. I'm getting spots. And I just feel I'm trying to do everything that I possibly could be doing. I'm looking in the newspapers. I've registered with recruiters. I phone them up and they offer me an admin job doing filing on £6 an hour.
There's always a gamble as to what to do. Do you go for the lower paid job and get a job quicker, or do you hang on in there hoping that you're going to get another job paying equally the same amount? With the people that I work with, most of them are realistic, and for the first couple of months they're looking to get something comparable, and then they do need to change their views and their expectations.
That change in expectations is happening across the economy. It's the speed of the slowdown that surprised many.
Walk down this high street and you'll find a whole variety of small businesses feeling the effects of Britain's economic slump. And those who are worse hit have already started laying people off. Faced with tough times, traders here are trying to fight back by adapting the way they do business.
Local butcher Stephen Davis lives and works in the village of Farsley on the outskirts of Leeds. 7 months ago, trade was so good he was hoping to move his business to bigger premises. Now takings are down £1,200 a week and he's facing a fight for survival.
We've had a couple of cafes go bust on us, and one at local pubs just down here. It's only 50 yards away. That's a good customer. They went bankrupt. There's another pub across the road just closed this weekend, so we know it's something we're not doing wrong.
So what are you doing then to try and keep the business up?
Well, we're trying various things. I mean, chickens, that's something we've started to try and create a bit of interest. These ready meals, different types of sausage. We're just running out of ideas fast, really.
Do you think it's going to work for you?
I hope so. I really do. We've put too much time and effort into this to see it go away. But there becomes a cut-off point where you just can't put anything else into it.
And it's a pattern which is repeated up and down the high street. This cafe has reported takings down around 15% as costs go up and people economise. This firm of solicitors has laid off 2 property lawyers and launched a marketing campaign offering fixed prices for its legal services. With business down 50% on this time last year, the local estate agent has laid off 2 part-timers. But he's still talking a good game.
I don't think anybody would be honest if they said there were not concerns. But just sitting there saying we're all doomed is not going to help. You've got to be positive, you've got to encourage people to think sensibly about the market. And anybody who's looking to move up market should be saying to themselves, great, bring the recession on. If I've got a £100,000 house that loses 10%, I'm 10 grand down. But I want to buy a £200,000 house, that's come down 20,000, I'm £10,000 better off. And the idea that you cannot get a mortgage is just not true, because we've not failed to find a single person who couldn't get a mortgage.
After the break, will our job seekers be able to find work?
I really, really don't know what I'm going to do. But I have to get a job. Oh, you know, what does one do to get a job?
Have you ever noticed how good things come in threes? Wise men, primary colours, wishes. I mean, life would be pretty flat without 3 dimensions. Let scientists talk about space and time. But how many hands on a clock? Now, you're probably thinking, not all 3s are good. Imagine Neapolitan with just the strawberry and vanilla. And you can't talk about the red and white without the blue. 3 is good. That's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but. Beginning, middle, lights,